January 23rd, 2012. I'm reading in Genesis today. I love reading the creation story. Like, again, it's probably the most read part of the Bible for me. I like reading it over and over again. Um, it's it's pure like creativity of God, just completely out there for everyone. It's like you get to see like what He was doing, and you're just in awe of it all every time you do it. So I'm reading Genesis, and one thing that kind of stuck out with me was light, and it's a really simple topic tonight. Light. Uh, in Genesis, that's the first thing He does. He makes light, and um, He saw that light appeared, and He saw that it was good. It says in verse 3 of Genesis 1. And of course, He designates light between day and night, and then that's how day one kind of went. What I wanted to talk about was light. The meaning of light and the creation of light is more than just what's around us. You can see the lamp in the back of the room. It's lighting up this room right now, and it brings to awareness everything that is true and real around me. I can't see anything without it, and I fail to even see the big things, let alone the small things around it. And I want to talk about just our presence in this world, and how us being a light, how that metaphor kind of plays out into existence. We have an opportunity to really be the hands and feet of God, of course, and we know that we are the light of the world, as it says in the Word. But I want you to think about kind of what that really means. God had to make light happen first in order for anything else to take place. Of course, He's God, and He's going to do whatever He wants. But what I find significant about when He designated the first day as light, to me, I take a part of that as His presence needs to be there first in order for anything else to happen. And I think light kind of also represented His dominion, His authority, and His presence on earth, and the heavens and the universe, in anything. To me, I take a part of that as God's presence needed to be there first. He needed to be present, and light needs to happen. Now, of course, He goes on later on down the line, and He actually makes the sun and the moon, and He commands them to take control over the day, and the other take control over night. And I think that kind of just adds to the tangible aspect of what light is on this earth, the sun and the moon. But I love the fact that in the beginning it starts off with light, His presence. And I think we take for granted that when it becomes dark, it just means there's no light. And that's just the automatic assumption, that when it turns dark, that just means there's no light. Light's going to come back, and light is there, we just turned it off. And a lot of people, we tend to think, even in the story of Moses, when the plague ran through in Exodus, in fact, Exodus chapter 10, verse 21, God says to Moses, "Stretch your hand to the skies, let darkness descend on the land of Egypt, darkness so dark you can touch it." Moses stretched out his hand to the skies. Thick darkness descended on the land of Egypt for 3 days. No one could see anyone. For 3 days no one could so much as move, except for the Israelites. They had a light where they were living. Everyone thinks, we kind of get into this notion where when God did that, He just turned on the lights and it was just dark, and it was just nighttime for 3 days. But the reality of light left Egypt for 3 days. You couldn't even light a candle because fire was non-existent. You couldn't even get a flame out of anything. You couldn't even see anything because sometimes we can go in the dark, but we have just enough ambient light for us to kind of make our way around. No, that all went away. Everything went dark, pitch black, and there was no way for anyone to really function or move or even live. And so I take that as kind of our role in this world. We are light, and we get that, and we understand that we have a story to tell, and we have salvation to spread, and that's great and all. But we also have the opportunity to shed light on someone's life, on environments around us, on people who need to see it and hear it. And the impact that we have is to take that darkness that someone is experiencing and feeling, where they feel like they're helpless, they feel like they don't know, they feel like they can't even get enough ambient light to see around because there's nothing, and we bring light, we bring the presence of God into their lives. Before any work is done, before we can even think about building the earth in their lives with God and showing them how they can establish a relationship with Jesus, that light needs to be there. And so I wanted to just tail off on that and just think about how light really is a significant part of not only the story of creation and the miracles of God, but just knowing and understanding that we are more than just storytellers. We're more than just people who are spreading the word about God. We're not just doing that. We are bringing life and light, the gift of life and light to someone. And that's a significant thing. So think about that. Take that to heart today. Also, today, before I go, I wanted to give a shout out to my brother, Sua. He is 30 years old today. He's the oldest of us 5 kids, and happy birthday to Sua. But it's funny because he's 30. That means we're all kind of creeping up there. So happy birthday. Enjoy it. Much love to my family down there in Arizona, and to my mom and them up in Alaska, my sister in Alaska, and everyone as well in Cali. So happy birthday. And remember, let's spread some light and let's engulf people's lives.